Pamela Butler was a successful IT specialist working for the Environmental Protection Agency in Washington, D.C. At 47 years old, she was known for her discipline, kindness, and meticulous habits. Her home was a fortress of order, equipped with multiple security cameras and a strict routine she rarely deviated from. Her family described her as highly responsible, never one to disappear without notice. On Valentine's Day weekend in 2009, Pam vanished from her home in the Brooklyn neighborhood. She had taken the day off work and was last seen alive on February 13th. Security footage from her home surveillance system showed her entering around 7 p.m., followed shortly by her boyfriend, 51-year-old Jose Angel Rodriguez Cruz. After that, no one ever saw her again. Pam's brother, Derek Butler, became alarmed when she didn't respond to phone calls or show up for a family event. He went to her house and found no sign of her. The lights were on, her car was in the driveway, but Pam was gone. Surveillance footage showed Rodriguez Cruz leaving the home days later, but there was no footage of Pam ever exiting. This was odd, given that every corner of the house had been covered by security cameras. Even more concerning, some sections of the footage were missing. Rodriguez Cruz told police he and Pam had argued, and she asked him to leave, which he did. Investigators were suspicious but had little physical evidence. There was no blood, no signs of forced entry, and no body. Without a crime scene or a body, prosecutors had almost nothing to build a case on. The investigation hit a wall, but Pam's brother refused to let her case fade away. He campaigned tirelessly, pushing for attention to her disappearance. In the process, he uncovered disturbing information about Rodriguez Cruz's past. Years earlier, Rodriguez Cruz had been married to a woman named Marta Rodriguez. She vanished in 1989 from Arlington, Virginia. Rodriguez Cruz claimed she had left him and taken off. At the time, police lacked evidence to contradict him. In 2017, investigators reopened Pam's cold case and decided to dig deeper into Rodriguez Cruz's background. With advances in technology and forensic techniques, they exhumed and re-examined unidentified remains that had been discovered near Interstate 95 in Stafford County in 1991. The remains had gone unidentified for decades but were now matched to Marta Rodriguez, his missing wife from the late 80s. This bombshell changed everything. Now detectives had two women closely tied to the same man, both mysteriously vanished years apart. Marta's body was now officially identified, and Rodriguez Cruz became the prime suspect in two cases. Authorities re-interviewed witnesses and analyzed phone records, statements, and inconsistencies in his original stories. The pressure on him mounted. In April 2017, Rodriguez Cruz was arrested and charged with Marta's murder. He eventually pleaded guilty in 2018 and admitted to killing her during an argument. In a surprising twist, he also admitted to killing Pamela Butler. As part of a plea deal, he agreed to tell authorities where he had buried Pam's body in exchange for avoiding the death penalty. He led them to a wooded area off Interstate 95 in Stafford County, not far from where Marta's remains had been found. He told investigators he had wrapped Pam's body in trash bags, placed her in a barrel, and buried her in a shallow grave. However, even after thorough searches, Pam's remains were never recovered. The site had likely been disrupted by construction over the years, and nature had taken its toll. Still, Rodriguez Cruz's confession and the details he provided were compelling and matched the known evidence. In 2019, Rodriguez Cruz was sentenced to 12 years in prison for the murder of Pamela Butler. He had already received a 40-year sentence for killing his first wife, Marta. The plea deal meant he would likely spend the rest of his life behind bars. Pam's family was heartbroken that her remains were never found, but relieved to have answers after a decade of agony. Derek Butler, who had fought so hard to uncover the truth, said he could finally begin to grieve his sister properly. He continued to advocate for other families of missing persons, hoping his persistence might inspire others not to give up.